everyone. Quick video. It's about this Xenta machine I looked at in a previous video. This is my work/project box at the moment. Though it's been on my desk for about a week and a half, 2 weeks now. It's performed very well. You saw in the previous video I swapped out the PSU and I precariously added a conventional hard drive here. Not very well mounted, of course, well, not mounted at all, but it's worked perfectly well for what I've needed. Only complaint I've had is, well, lack of optical drive. I still haven't put that in, but the fan, while it keeps it nice and cool, it does not seem to step down at all, so it's running at I think 4,000 RPM constantly. Actually, it might be 3,500. I haven't checked that. Either way, it's loud. Very annoying and very loud. So, anyway, I'm replacing it with this, which is the Nocuta NHL12S. Don't normally buy heatsinks and fans from them. I mean, they're pretty good, can't complain, but over the years they've gained a bit of a following. I mean, they always had one, and their prices are always a bit high, I find. But it's this low profile one, 120mm fan, very low profile. You can mount the fan either there or this side. You do a push or pull. I think it's currently set to, I assume, push. Yeah, I don't think you see the arrows there, but airflow is going that way. So that's good. So we're going to take this out and replace it with that, and I'm going to do a quick comparison in terms of sound and thermals. Look at how we get this out. I have already looked, there's some screws underneath, but if you can see, there's a screw there and a screw there holding the fan on, but there's some gaps here, but you have to angle the screwdriver, and I'm hoping I can just get it straight out. There we go. Right, now, that should now be loose. It just dawned on me, this is actually one of those classic AM4 brackets, and I should have paid attention. I've always hated these, ever since the A socket. But they have improved over the years, they used to be so tight. So yeah, it pops off. As you can see, it's not a very substantial, well, it's not a bad heatsink. Aluminium in construction. You can see the fan gives a false impression to the size. It's nowhere near that size. Of course, only a 3-pin, which doesn't really matter. You can normally, the motherboard can normally handle voltage change to get this to spin down, but for whatever reason, it would not behave. So here we go. What we got here? We need to take these off. Well, I say that. Let's just quickly check the instructions. Yeah, it requires its own bracket, so easy enough. Does it go into the back plate, or does it need it? No. Use its own back plate and remove old bracket. Yeah. So let's get this out. It's nice that it doesn't require its own silly bracket on the back, because that's always a pain. I was hoping I could just install this on top and take the motherboard out, and that does seem to be the case. I will need to do a case transplant for this at some point, because this is not its final home. But for now, it will do. And that bracket is not stuck onto the back of the motherboard, which, sure, fine, whatever. So I'm going to quickly clean this CPU off, and voila, we're back. Had to take the back of the case off to, well, the mounted bracket wasn't mounted, so it just fell off. So that's now been attached. We now have our brackets attached, thermal paste attached, well added. I'm sure someone's going to go, you have done the thermal paste wrong, but I don't care. Everyone has an opinion on that. I may do a video on it at some point. So that's that. So which way is this mount? Mounts obviously. I thought I was doing horizontal mounting. Clearly not. Oh well, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I mean, this is going to block the RAM slots anyway. I'm not planning on changing the RAM anytime soon. So let's just pop that in there like that. Get that lined up. I suppose that is horizontal mounting, but you know, it's not what I read it as. Whatever. Comes with a nice long Phillips Allen key thing to help you attach this, because I've always found this bit awkward because you can't quite see what you're doing. Right, so those of you who are wondering, the clearance above the RAM is absolutely nothing. So that just about fits. So if you're gonna that wouldn't even take a heatsink on that RAM. Feeding that, what, probably a mil there. So if you've got heat spreaders on your RAM, do not install this cooler in this orientation, or put the fan on top. So that's a slight limitation. Bad design really when you think about it. I suppose, let's see why they've done it. I think I prefer the 65mm version of this, where it just plonks in. It's got a smaller fan, but I think it will at least fit in most cases. And I must admit, I'm not a massive fan of this look. I mean, I got this because of the size and I hadn't used one of these before, but I'm not massively convinced. Right, okay, is that going to reach? I know this came with a an adapter to slow the fan down, but that should reach. Yeah, it reaches. But we'll try it with stock intended performance first of all. Though I would always like the fan to be as slow as possible. While it's a nice braided cable, there is absolutely no flexibility in this cable whatsoever, which is making this more difficult than it needs to be. At the end of the day, why has it got to be this thick? It's a fan cable. Now I've just pushed the cable underneath the fan, which means it's probably going to snag. There we go, that's better. Yeah, there's the aforementioned adapter, though I know there's a resistor in there, but look at that, there's no flexibility there at all. Anyway, I think that's it. Let's quickly plug this in and let's have a listen, shall we? Now the hard drive noise was probably louder than the fan, so that's a considerable improvement. Still not a silent machine. Let's see if we set up a fan profile for that to make that better. I might even use this depending on the thermals, but that's a massive improvement. I'm happy with that. Well, let's have a quick look at what the thermals were and are I just looked at the footage and I seem to be missing the exact old footage from before, though I did take some notes. So the previous fan was about 40 degrees, 45 at full load, but that's because the fan just never went down. I mean, I think it hit 50 at one point, but it was never that high. This one in comparison is about the same, but the difference is the fan, even on the standard profile, is much quieter. And I'll quickly flick to a noise comparison. This was from the camera about 30 centimeters away, so you can hear the difference. I'll flick between the two. There you have it. That was quite a large difference. It was increased by 25 decibels so you could hear it, so it's not that loud normally, but you can definitely hear the difference. So that's going to help with my sanity. I'm sure I will be upgrading and changing this computer over the next few weeks, especially over Christmas that's coming up. I've been incredibly busy with various Christmas related jobs and builds, so little light on content at the moment, so apologies for that. Hopefully to get some more interesting stuff in the new year, but I've been a bit slammed recently. So if you want to see anything else with this machine, let me know. I will be doing a review on this CPU because it's a great CPU. Just haven't had a chance yet. I did a quick one with the passive cooling, but for now that's it. So thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please comment, like and subscribe, and until next time, I will see you then. So goodbye.